Hey, hi everybody, JP Murray. Welcome to the Association Playbook, sponsored by Insperity. Thank you, Insperity, for your sponsorship this year. Hey, we've got two very special guests, Amanda Freeze, who's our what do you do, Amanda? Amanda McMahon.
Amanda McMahon.
Oh my
okay.
gosh,
I follow both names.
Amanda has been our office coordinator, my executive assistant. There's no one we depend on more than you in this company.
Thank you.
It's been like almost a year and a half for us to get you on Facebook
Yes,
Live.
I'm very shy. I don't like to get on live.
You're doing a great job so far,
Thank
better than
you.
me. And then our chief operating officer, co-founder of the company, and my wife, Diane Murray. Welcome to the show. Okay, so we're going to talk about transition and people taking leave, because right now Bethany took maternity leave, Elizabeth took maternity leave, she's getting ready to do it again, you're getting ready to go on leave for the first
Yes.
time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So this is a really important area for small businesses to really think through. And so, Amanda, you wanted to ask me a question or two about that. So
Yes.
go ahead.
So I just wanted to ask both of you, how does a small business prep for a team member taking that leave, and what are the steps we should be taking, the correct steps we should be taking?
We have learned for the first time,
Yeah.
right? A couple of years ago. Go ahead, Diane. Talk about from an HR perspective.
Yeah, so I do handle the human resources, for lack of a better word. But since being a small company, you have to be flexible. But there's not a lot of redundancy in a very small business or a small association, so that large corporations will have, and they'll be able to have someone that can, easily step in. So we have to be creative. We have to communicate really well from the very beginning, and we want our employees to have the best leave that's good for them and their baby and their family, but also take into consideration, especially someone like Amanda, who's our chief of staff. She does everything. It is literally going to take 5 people inside the company to do everything she does. So, but that's what we did. We kind of broke it down. Where do people have expertise? Where do they have a little wiggle room? And we kind of took her jobs and kind of broke them out. So you got to think creatively and be flexible with your different employees, and ask it. Somebody stepped up and said, "Hey, I can do that. I have time to do that." So do it that way instead of one person has to take
Yes,
over everything.
that's very helpful.
So what else? From a business perspective, do you want me to take that part on?
Yes, go ahead and take
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. So from a business perspective, the challenge for us is, so when we've got an internal situation like yours, we can spread out the responsibilities. I think when you're dealing with client situations, it can be a little bit different, and we learn from this. As an example, when we have a member of our sales team leave, we have to cover accounts either we had to make a decision. Do we hire someone temporarily to fill in for that role, or do we assign an account to another salesperson? Okay, so that's a real thing that you've got to think through. Here's what we learned from this. I think when you're looking at a maternity leave in particular, which could be 60 to 90 days, is that about where we're at? About a 90-day program, we usually look at the business in 30, 60, 90, 30-day increments. Every month, you kind of pay attention to the business. So I think one of the most important things is you've got to really look at that account and that business operation much more regularly, right? You almost have to launch it once again with the new salesperson. You've got to onboard them. You've got to make them familiar with the account. Then I think it's really important to measure it a little bit more frequently. So let's say we did it every 30 days. Well, okay, you have kind of an off month, or a really good month, which is normal. But then 60 days, if you have 2 months in a row, it's almost too late to rebound if you need to adjust or make some adjustments for that new person on the account. So I think it's really important maybe to measure and be much more diligent about that with the client and with that business project than you would in a normal business. That's what we learned, I think, the first couple times.
Yeah.
Is you've got to pay more attention to that business operation, even if you put the very best person in your company on it, which we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We say, hey, who can handle it? Who's got the bandwidth? Who's ready to do this? Well, just because that's all in place, don't assume that it's just going to flip on and you're going to be able to hit the numbers that you've had in the past. So that's really important to state. You've got to pay much more attention to those new areas that are being spread out to other people in the company, right? That's a key thing. And then the other part on the business side is don't be afraid. I mean, if you're going to take that kind of evaluation, don't be afraid to be very kind of stringent about, hey, we're not getting it done. And I realize that this isn't your regular account, but that doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. We got to buckle down and make sure we get it done. So you actually might need to apply more resources than before. So that's kind of my feedback on it. Mm-hmm. So I got a question for you guys. Amanda, you're leaving at the beginning of the year.
Yes.
That's your due date.
Yes.
How have you guys worked this out regarding Amanda's responsibilities?
Mm-hmm.
What's been the process?
Yeah. Well, in the beginning, Diane gave me some advice in regards to just take some time and list out all the duties that I do. And that's really helped me because you get so caught up in your everyday work that you kind of forget the things you do.
Yeah.
So putting it out in a list really does help. Once I was able to list out everything I do, I was able to then delegate who would be the best person for that job. Once I did that, I created a plan of action, and then I'm going to be setting up one-on-ones with the certain point of contacts and really go over each step, each detail, and leave as much as you can to them, resources that you can to them. So.
And are you job shadowing?
I'm going to actually, next week I'll shadow her because I'm not an employee that comes into the office regularly. I kind of do my own thing at home, so because that's best for our marriage. So for 3 months, this is going to be the challenge.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually come in the office, so I'm going to just come in and shadow her, and especially in the areas I'm going to be helping out, make sure I understand kind of what she does day to day, and then, I might be calling her a month too and saying our marriage is just going to make it.
Yeah, we're going to have to bring you back earlier.
Open communication is good, so they know. So, we all work very close and we're flexible. We're constantly on Slack. We text each other, so we know that if we're in a situation, they know they can reach me and vice versa.
We will have to set up boundaries because, week one, we don't want to be doing it.
Right.
Maybe by the second month, we can be sending her some little texts or whatever. Hey, if we need a little advice or help. That is where technology is different from when I went on leave many minutes ago.
So that's how we're handling it here. Mm-hmm. Hey, we're still learning, so we welcome your feedback on ways that you've handled it in your own association, your own business. Amanda McMahon, congratulations.
Thank you.
We can't wait to have a new addition to the Murray family.
Yes.
You're a part of our family, and man, we're excited about that. Diane, I look forward to working with you.
There we go.
Folks, this is J.P. Murray with the Murray Company. Thanks for watching the Association Playbook. See you real soon.